In today's climate, nothing will make you a more accurate or confident shooter than Crimson Trace laser sighting systems. Get the immediate, decisive advantage of the world's only grip-integrated laser sights today. Shoot better. Stay safer. Crimson Trace.
Lock and load. It's time to load up on some intellectual ammunition with Tom Gresham's Gun Talk. It doesn't matter if you learn to shoot with Daniel Boone or you're brand new. You're welcome here. This is the original national talk show about guns, and Tom Gresham is your guide through the maze of ballistics and politics. So grab your phone and call in right now, 866-825-5486, or just dial 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, here's Tom.
I'm a gun owner.
Your views, advice, and questions are the driving force of Gun Talk.
You know, I don't think that guns are scary things.
Visit us online at www.guntalk.com. Call Tom now at 866-TALK-GUN, 866-825-5486. Let us know what you think about the gun-related issues of the day. Now, back to Gun Talk.
All right, welcome back to Gun Talk. Tom Gresham here. 866-TALK-GUN gets you in here. Don't forget to go to guntalk.com/win. Enter for a chance to win our cool giveaway, an ACOG from Trijicon. All you got to do is go to guntalk.com/win. Enter for a chance. Somebody's going to win this thing at the end of the month here. So here you go. So what's going on with gun sales? Higher, lower? Of course, we know that last year was crazy. Lots of guns being sold and bought. But what's going on right now? Well, we'll find out. Always good to bring in our friend Johnny Dury from Dury's Guns in here because he probably has the best feel of what's going on in the business. Let me ask you, well, Dury's Guns, we should just tell people you're in San Antonio. I would like to call you like an old-line gun store dealer because it's a family business.
That's correct. We've been in business since 1959 when my dad opened this store, but it really goes back to my great-grandfather was a gunsmith here in the late 1800s, and my grandfather was a Remington rep for 35 years. And,
wow.
And my dad started the store, so that's what we've got it in our blood.
You never had a time when you weren't into guns, were you?
We've never known anything else.
Well, okay, and obviously you're not just a local store. You guys have a great website. You buy and sell guns all over the country, actually internationally, I'm sure.
We do, Tom. We have people ship in guns to us from all over the country. They're looking for a place that's going to give them a fair number on their guns, and we make it really easy for them. We'll send them the box and all the packing material and a return label on it, and they can ship their gun right to us, and we can send them a check out on it at a real fair price to them.
Okay, sounds good. And, you know, just so people know, I mean, and I've said this before, you and I have done business before, sold you a bunch of guns, and it was a fair deal, and I like the way that you work. So when people ask me, you know, hey, I've got some guns to sell, I say, well, I know a guy, you know, one of those deals. I got a guy for you.
That's right. And we've had a good business relationship for a long time, and you know that we're going to pay a fair price on it. We're all here to make some money on it, but we're going to pay a fair price where the owner of that gun is going to get a good deal on it.
Okay, I'm on your website. I just saw something funny. Probably not intentional, but it's just darn funny. You've got all these used guns for sale there, and I just clicked on a SIG P220 45 used, and when I click on it, it comes up, and it has one of the things you have with the information is what's the use of it. And, you know, you've got defensive and all that. On this one, somebody listed varmint target, and I'm thinking, actually, that's pretty appropriate for a P220, for varmints, those two-legged varmints.
Well, that's right. Well, it's that, and it's also, you know, that's right. There's a lot of people they go down to their hunt leases here, and you don't know what you're going to come across down there. It could be a big hog, and it could be somebody that doesn't need to be there.
What's going on? You probably have a good feel for the business right now. I mean, obviously 2013 was off the charts, and we're probably not going to see anything like that again. But what's the situation now?
You know, that's what we did. When we went to planning for 2014's numbers, we sat back and said, let's just throw 13 out the window. You had the perfect storm of everything going on there. And so we just threw that out. And then we tried to put plans together over 2012, and our 12 is running 12% over 2012, 23% under 13. So 12 was a great year for us, and to put 12% on top of 12, we're very happy with that.
What are you seeing in terms of what people are selling and also what they're buying? Any kind of trends these days?
It's actually funny for us. The new gun business is down a fair amount, but the used gun business is exceptional right now. So what we've lost, what we've down in new long guns and handguns, the used ones are really coming in there. So there was a bunch of people that bought guns in 13, and they were scared that they were going to take them away. So there was a huge sale of those guns off, and now some of those people are wanting the money to do some other things with, take the families on vacation, pay some bills or whatever. Mm-hmm. So there's a big influx of used guns for us right now, which is fabulous. And with our lifetime guarantee on our used guns, people can buy them let somebody else take the depreciation hit on them. So we've seen that do very well for us.
Well, what's the deal there? I've heard of lifetime guarantees on guns, but not on used guns. How do you do that?
Yes, sir. Well, we just do. We give lifetime guarantees on all the guns that we sell. We check those guns out real well, Tom. And, that's just the way my dad did it, and that's the way we're going to continue to do it. We want people, when they buy from us, to know that they have no risk on their gun buying from us. If there's a problem with it, we're going to pay all the parts, all the labor, all the everything on it for as long as they ever own it.
And you've got in-house gunsmiths who can handle pretty much anything.
That's correct. We got 4 in-house gunsmiths. If something would happen to the gun that's obsolete or the parts are no longer available, we just refund 100% of their money or give them full credit for what they paid for the gun on anything else they wanted to buy. So it's an absolute all-inclusive guarantee, and that's postage and shipping and everything included on it.
Wow.
So it's a zero cost to those people.
Okay. Well, by the way, we're talking with Johnny Dury from Dury's Guns on the website. It's Dury's Guns, DURYSguns.com. I'm looking at your list of used guns. You have a crazy breadth and collection of used guns. Just looking at handguns, right now I'm looking at a Walther P38 as well as the Smith & Wesson Shield. You got like old stuff and the very latest, newest stuff that people are trying to get a hold of.
Mm-hmm. We do. We've been very fortunate on getting used guns, Tom, and I think a big deal of it is, we pay a fair price for the used guns, and so people continue to come to us, and that's why we've been so fortunate on being able to have this selection of used guns.
And you got, I'm looking, pistols, revolvers, rifles, shotguns. Now, all right, question. Somebody says, okay, I've got a gun, either one gun or a bunch of guns, and they're saying, I just don't know what these are worth. I get that question all the time. What's my gun worth? Mm-hmm. Can they call you and you'll kind of run through and say, look, this is what we'll pay you for them?
Well, what we do, Tom, is we try to make it even better than that. What we do is we tell them what we think that retail is on the gun in case they had a friend or somebody who was interested in the gun. Of course, if they can sell it outright, they're going to do better. So we give them the retail price. We give them a price of what we would pay for them outright, and then we give them an option of consignment. So they have 3 values of the gun. They have the retail value, the consignment value, and the we'll buy it right now value. And when you give them all of that information, it just lets them know that you're just being transparent on it, and you give them the true values on it.
Explain how, if somebody's never bought a gun, like on the internet or on the phone, how does the transfer work? I want people to understand we're not going around the laws. You're actually complying with all the laws here.
Oh, absolutely. If somebody's from out of state and they want to buy a gun from us, what we would do is we would ask them if they have a dealer that they know of that they would want to transfer the gun to. And then we would get that dealer to send us a copy of their federal firearms license. We'd ship the gun there, and the people would go down and pick it up just as they were buying the gun from that store. And usually people charge $25 to $50 transfer fee on that. One of the big deals about buying them out of state is we can get around the sales tax. So it's shipped out of state, no sales tax, and that normally the transfer is less than what the sales tax would have been on it. So there's actually a big benefit from buying it from us.
I never thought of that. That's interesting. Yeah, you're not having to pay the state sales tax on it.
That's right, and then they're still guaranteed for life. So anybody around the country could buy a used gun from us, and if there was an issue with the gun, we'd send the box with the return label on it. We'd fix it and ship it right back to them.
Any particular guns that have come in that you're thinking, boy, that was interesting? I'm sure you get stuff coming in and you're going, wow, did you guys see this?
I tell you, we got a gun. It never made it to the website, but we've got an engraved Colt Python that was owned by one of the Texas Rangers. It was he called it his barbecue gun that he took, the fancy one that he took when he went to go get all fancy schmancy up to go to one of the parades or one of those. So we were very fortunate, and he trusted in us enough to want to move that gun. And, of course, we moved it in a hurry with that. But that was a really, really cool gun that we had a chance at. Some of the other things that we had, well, I had found a, let's see, it was a 92 Trapper short rifle, 16-inch octagon, which I've only know of 3 of them to exist. In a 16-inch octagon Trapper model. That was a pretty cool gun that came in.
You also do Class 3 NFA stuff.
We do.
So,
we do silencers and machine guns. We just bought a big collection of guys in Utah, so we can facilitate that anywhere throughout the country also. But, yeah, we're big buyers on machine guns.
And I'm thinking about what you just said about this revolver that came in that never made it to the website.
Right.
It occurs to me that if somebody has a particular interest and said, look, I really like fancy engraved guns, or I'm interested in, high-end machine guns or whatever, if they're a collector, they probably could let you know so that you got a list of people you call when you get something like that.
That's right. We buy for people's collections. Also, if you have something that you're looking for, we have ways of finding those things out there. We just bought Sam Colt's original Henry rifle for one of our customers here.
Oh.
That was really cool gun that just came up for sale, and we were fortunate enough to get that gun for him.
Whoa, man, that's amazing. All right, well, if you're looking for something unique or just want to have Johnny on the lookout for you, contact them, let them know what you're looking for, and they'll put you on the list, and if something comes in, you'll just give them a holler. That's
exactly right. Yeah, we keep a list of it, and then when we travel and go to the big gun shows and the big auctions, if there's something special that you're looking for, we just keep that in mind. I mean, we'll find it for you one of these days, and we have a bunch of customers that we have on that list like that.
Okay.
And it works real well for them, sure.
Sounds good. All right, Johnny, it's, if somebody's looking to either sell a gun or buy new or used, just go to the website, durysguns.com. I'm glad to hear that sales are still good. I mean, we knew that it wasn't going to be 2013, but if it's over 2012, then the industry is strong and people are still looking for guns.
They are. We're very fortunate, Tom, and we have such a good customer base, and it looks like 13 is not going to be there, but 14 will be just fine for us. We're very fortunate.
Sounds good, and we can tease it a little bit. We did the GT10 gun a few years ago, and you handled that for us. Never know when there might be something like that coming up in the somewhat near to immediate future.
Well, good. That's fantastic. We'll keep them posted on that.
We'll do that. Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate it, man. 866-TALK-GUN. Open lines for you right now.
Long-range shooting is challenging and fun, but most precision rifle bullets aren't right for hunting. Nosler's AccuBond LR long-range bullets are designed specifically for hunters. They combine the incredible on-game performance AccuBond bullets have delivered around the world with incredible long-range properties. High ballistic coefficients make for bullets which shoot flat and defy the winds. The sleekest, flattest shooting, bonded hunting bullet ever designed. Nosler's AccuBond LR. For more info, visit nosler.com.
Looking for shooting instruction but don't know where to go? Well, we have it, and you can access hours of training and safety videos, which you can watch on your home computer. On GunTalkTV.com, we have top competitive shooters, the best in self-defense trainers, and folks who have hunted all over the world, helping you learn which gun to buy, how to use it, how to store it safely, and everything else you need to be a safe and competent shooter. We also have gun makers showing off their newest rifles, shotguns, and handguns. Doesn't matter if you're a veteran shooter or a complete beginner. You'll find what you need at GunTalkTV.com. You can check it out for free, and you can get full access for only $5.95 a month. That gives you unlimited access to hundreds of videos, and we're adding more all the time. Run the videos over and over to make sure you understand what's being said. Skip around. You're in control. Get smarter. Shoot better. Visit guntalktv.com.
Hi, I'm Michael Bain. You know I hate cleaning guns, so anything that makes that job faster and easier is definitely a plus. And that's where Bore Tips come in. These reusable, lint-free cleaning swabs make cleaning a breeze. And the tighter-fitting Bore Tips do a better job on barrels than cotton mops or patches. Hey, it's a dirty job. Let Bore Tips help. To find a dealer, visit boretips.com.
You know the name Walther is a legendary brand, but do you know the new Walther? The new Walther has introduced 3 new precision handguns. The smooth PPQ M2 is a breakthrough in ergonomics and trigger pull. The tough PPX is a workhorse at a value price. The cool, iconic PPK S22 blends classic PPK with the fun of the economical 22 LR. There is a lot going on at the new Walther. Visit us at waltherarms.com. Walther, at your favorite retailer.
Home invasions happen anytime, day or night. Do you have a firearm close by? You can. And still keep it secure with one of the great wall safes from Console Vault. Plate steel construction, 2 levels of security, and models which hide in plain sight. Install 2 or 3 around the house. Always nearby, but secure. Locked, but quick to open. Visit consolevault.com. That's CONSOLE vault.com.
Gun Talk encourages you to support the local sporting goods store, gun stores, ATV dealers, and other local businesses in your area who advertise on this station and Gun Talk. Only together can we protect our rights. You're listening to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk.
All right, back with the 866 Talk Gun. We'll get you in there, 866 Talk Gun. This one is interesting. Remember in Colorado when they had the referendum? No, it wasn't. It wasn't the referendum. It was the legislature ran through the gun control measures, and it actually caused companies to leave Colorado. And Governor John Hickenlooper, he's now offering an apology to, as the story says that I'm reading here, to some of his fiercest rivals on the issue of gun control, Colorado's sheriffs. Because the sheriffs almost universally opposed this measure, that the gun control that was passed in Colorado. So now the governor is saying, I'm sorry that I closed you out. I'm sorry that I refused to have a meeting with the sheriffs. This would be the highest law enforcement official in every county in the state. Would not meet with them, would not talk with them, would not let them testify. But now he's saying, guys, we had this little tiff, and I'm real sorry about that, and I'm sure sorry, and we didn't really do I love it. He says his administration didn't do a good job anticipating pushback on gun control. In other words, we got our butts handed to us by the public, and now we're running scared because we got to run for re-election. And we sure would like to make up with you guys, even though we were such horses patooties on this whole deal. Most of the Colorado sheriffs are currently suing to overturn the gun control laws that Hickenlooper signed last year. The sheriffs are saying that these gun laws violate the Constitution. I love it. The County Sheriffs of Colorado Association did not respond when contacted for comment. I think a non-response pretty much tells you what you need to know about this deal. Let's go to line 3. Harry is in Coos Bay, Oregon. Hello, Harry.
Hello, Tom. It's nice talking to you.
Enjoy. Appreciate it. The Troutdale school shooting. Talk to me.
Yeah. Did you hear about that school shooting this week, Tom?
Sure, I did, and another one of those deals where the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. We had 2 really good police officers on the scene, and they responded quickly, and the thing ended.
Exactly. And the other thing that bothers me is the parents of the shooter. They didn't know this kid took their weapon from him. The kid used their AR-15, and it came out a couple of days later. It was under lock and key, and the kid defeated all those measures. And now we have a politician in Portland, Jenny Burdick. She's trying to pass stricter gun control bills, and she wants to hold the parents criminally responsible for what their kid did, even though they were responsible gun owners.
Now, here's the thing to understand about that. First of all, I'm not surprised at all, because the gun banners love to jump on anything they can to hold somebody else responsible, because they find it impossible to hold a shooter responsible for shooting people. I don't know what it is about that, but they want to blame the parents. They want to blame other gun owners. They want to blame the NRA. They want to, yeah, exactly. Never let a crisis go to waste. So what they're going to do is push this. But here's the thing to understand. There's already a law that holds parents responsible for the criminal acts of their children, and you don't need another law. If it can be found that the parents were negligent, then there is a law available for law enforcement to use. There's no need for an additional law here. And that's
I agree with you, Tom.
And the conversation that's taking place, that's what needs to be brought up to say, look, this is silly. If the parents are negligent, then there are already laws to take care of that. If they're not negligent, why in the name of God would you want to hold somebody responsible for not being negligent?
Exactly, Tom, and I totally agree with you on that. And I think the other thing they're not addressing is the issue of mental illness, and maybe somebody needs some anger management, because I don't think the gun is at the issue here. I mean, guns aren't scary things like the person in your commercial says. People with mental illness with guns are scary.
Yeah, exactly, and I appreciate it. Listen, thank you for the call, sir. Yeah, it's like when they blame Adam Lanza's mother for having guns, and then say, see, he got his guns from her. Yeah, he murdered her and took her guns. It's like there are reports, there have been cases where people have actually gone and shot police officers to take their guns. So there's a takeaway from that we don't have police officers carry guns? That's inane. It's insane. It's silly on the face of it. It's more than silly. It's just stupid. Yeah, posthumous liability. I love it. Great term. So we're going to blame somebody who gets killed for having their guns taken from them? The anti-gun folks, the gun banners, are morbidly opportunistic, and they continue to be. 866-TALK-GUN, 866-TALK-GUN. This is Gun Talk.
One of Talker Magazine's 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America. You're listening to Gun Talk, heard every week at this time on great radio stations across America. Stay tuned. Gun Talk is coming right back. Covering all aspects of gun ownership every week on this fine radio station. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
All right, we're back with you. Tom Gresham, 866-TALK-GUN. That'll get you in. Also, you can shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com. Starting to get some emails coming in. People telling me stories about going out, shooting, hunting with their dads, first time out. It's Father's Day. If your dad's still around, obviously, I hope you have given him a call. Some of us are a little bit reluctant to say the love word, I love you. You know, at the very least, maybe you can call and say thanks for everything you did. If he was a rotten SOB, maybe he made you tougher. So thanks for that, too. I don't know. Do what you got to do. 866-TALK-GUN. Line 2. Bill is in Kansas City. How you doing, Bill?
Hey, fine. Thanks, Tom. I figured that a guy like you, if he wanted a Class 3, he could have one, and I thought I'd ask you, what's the pros and cons of getting a Class 3? I know there's a lot of ammo involved.
Well, the thing is, tell me exactly what you're talking about, because if you're talking about NFA-type stuff, it can be a suppressor, it could be a submachine gun, it could be full auto, it could be a lot of other stuff. What do you think about getting?
Full auto.
Okay, I think you have identified the The only real downside is I use the analogy, it's like owning a Great Dane. Now you have to feed it, and it eats a lot. But that's a fun deal. I mean, look, full auto is a hoot and a half. It's great fun. There are a few hoops to jump through, and it's taking somewhere in the neighborhood of 9 to 10 months to get your paperwork done on those right now. Obviously, Class 3 full auto guns are expensive. So you're probably starting at about $10,000 and going up from there. But, you know, if you want one and can afford it, I would say go for it. They're just a bunch of fun. And, you know, any gun that has a giggle switch on it where you go to full auto, we're all about that one, man.
Okay, well, thanks a lot.
All right, thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. Let's see, 4. Ed is in Medford, Oregon. Hey, Ed, you got a problem with your pistol?
Oh, yes, somewhat. Excuse my voice. But got sick for Father's Day. By the way, Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Same to you.
And my dad, and when I was in junior high school back in the 60s, he didn't like guns at all. But he let me go join the ROTC. I was on the rifle club. And then he did take me to shooting. I pestered him with little notes. I want a rifle. I want a rifle. I want a rifle. And finally, I got a Sears Model 41 DLA made by Marlin, single shot. And so that started me off. I've had hundreds of guns. But anyway, so if you don't have a dad that lets you have him, pester him a little bit. So
there you go.
Yeah. And by the way, there was a lady that called, and I can't remember her name. It's like Tabitha, I think, was her name. She wanted a 9mm, and you recommended that. I recommend the XDS by Springfield Armory because it weighs about 20 ounces, empty.
Yeah, it's a great pistol, isn't it?
No recoil. And that's the gun I was calling you about. I'm used to Glocks and Keltecs and 5.5 pound triggers. And this one's got it had about a 9 pound trigger when I first got it, and I just played with it and pulled the trigger 100 times or more, 200 times or more. And now it's down to 7.5 pounds, but it's still not what I like for just shooting around the place. So,
okay, I got a suggestion.
What's that?
Call Springfield. Tell them, hey, this trigger is too heavy, and see if they will get you to send it back and have them adjust it for you, and tell them you want it down around 5 pounds. And I don't think they'll have a problem with that, and they can adjust it for you. But Springfield has a real good shop there in-house, but it's a great pistol, as you say. And now the one I have, I mentioned I've been carrying an XDS for the last week or so. It has probably a 4.5, 5 pound trigger. It's really crisp and good. So I know they can do that. I would absolutely call Springfield and tell them what you got and what the problem is, and see if they will adjust it for you.
Was yours before the recall or after?
Just got it recently, so I guess it's after.
Yeah, and so is mine. Okay, I will do that. Thank you so much for your program. Oh, by the way, it took me 10 months to get my 22 silencer.
Yes, that's what I was saying. It's running, 9-10 months right now. So, in fact, thanks for the call. I just was talking to somebody at Gemtech. Said we got to get some suppressors in here. Oh, and did you know? I don't know if everybody knows this. The folks at SIG are now making suppressors. They call them actually silencers. They use the original term that Hiram Maxim used. So SIG has a line of silencers also. Outstanding. Let's see. I do want to get this in. Frank on line 3, Talkeetna, Alaska. Hey, Frank, what you looking for?
How do you do, Tom? A friend of mine asked me about a handgun I know nothing, and I said I do know someone who does.
All righty.
He's looking to buy a Para-Ordnance, now Para-USA or something, Elite Long Slide 10mm.
Ooh, nice.
Well, maybe. That's why I wanted to discuss it with you and your readership.
Let me tell you, Para made good guns, and then they made bad guns, and now they're making good guns again. There was about a year or two when there was a transition period. They were kind of getting shaky when they're up in Canada, and then they got bought by Freedom Group, and they're making them in the U.S. now, and their guns are outstanding. I think if your buddy wants a 10 millimeter long slide 10mm, what am I thinking? 1911. I think that's a really good choice. There are a few out there, but I can just tell you, in my experience, Para's making some really nice 1911s these days.
Thank you so very much, and happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Same to you. Question for everybody is, do you have a 10 millimeter? Why? What do you do with it? I'm thinking that there are some that have them for personal protection, but probably a lot of other people have 10 millimeters for hunting, which I think would be a really good choice. And it's probably premature. There may be some 10 millimeter news in a few months. We'll hold that one out for right now. I love it. I do like my 10s, though. 866 Talk Gun.
Successful hunters know big bucks move early and late, often when it's too dark for common scopes. When that monster steps out, you might see him through the scope, but the crosshairs disappear. All that work and you can't take the shot. But with the Trijicon AccuPoint scope, you'll get the shot. Its bright aiming point glows in daylight or darkness. No batteries needed. AccuPoint scopes are water resistant and nitrogen filled, feature multi-layer coated lenses for the brightest image, and you can adjust brightness of the aiming point to match the conditions. Adding 10 or 15 minutes to each end of the day can double the magic moments when the trophies move. You can't hit the target if you can't see the sights. Trijicon AccuPoint scopes. Check out the different models at Trijicon.com or call 1-800-338-0563. Brilliant aiming solutions from Trijicon.
You already know Liberty safes are great values. Now they're offering an even sweeter deal for Gun Talk listeners. At LibertySafe.com, click on the Fat Boy safe and type in Tom. Liberty will give you up to $250 off your purchase. Protect the things you value most. LibertySafe.com, click the Fat Boy safe, promo code Tom, save up to $250. That's LibertySafe.com. LibertySafe.com.
The .45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You know you need training, and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now Gun Talk presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At ShopGunTalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's instruction. ShopGunTalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently. When it comes to personal protection, nothing beats a Bodyguard. Choose the lightweight, compact, and concealable Bodyguard 380 pistol or the Bodyguard 38 revolver, both with a built-in laser sight. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently.
A famous radio consultant once said he'd be off the air in a year.
Whoops!
Defending your Second Amendment rights since 1995 on over 150 radio stations nationwide. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
Hey, look at this. If you happen to be in the area, if you're around Medford, Oregon right now, you can run out to the Father's Day machine gun shoot. Thank you, Don. Appreciate the heads up on that. KMED radio station out there that carries Gun Talk is talking about it, being promoted by Bill Meyer. Appreciate that. Yes, if you go to fullautofun.info, fullautofun.info, it's got the information. Father's Day, that's today, June 15th, a full auto shoot. Holy cow, they show, I love this picture of this lady. She looks like she's probably somebody's grandma. shooting a submachine gun. Now, that's fun. I just got to tell you, that is just, we were talking about full auto earlier. Yeah, buddy, that's fun. Now, also, I just got an email from Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. She assigns her emails Granny Oakley instead of Annie Oakley. I love it. She had written me and she was having trouble working the slide on semi-autos. And I said, look, take a look at the tip-up barrel pistols from Beretta and Taurus. So she just wrote me, she says, thanks, Tom. I now have the sweetest little Taurus PT22/25, and no, it does not have a pink grip. Now comes training and a concealed carry license. Thanks for the help, Granny Oakley. Well, thank you, Granny. I appreciate that. If you really just can't work the slide, those tip-up barrel pistols are a possibility. Beretta and Taurus have those, so something for you to consider. Line 2, George is with us from OC Shooters. Hey, George.
Hi, how's it going today?
Good. Give me an update.
Well, I want to take a second. I just want to put in a plug for Liberty Safe. I had a little problem. They straightened it out. The only thing is, I tried watering it to make it grow, but it won't get any bigger. So,
you got the same problem we all do. We all need bigger safes.
I bought the one much bigger than I needed at the time. But anyway, I went to the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, had their annual meeting in Wallkill yesterday. And I think we sold 300 plus chicken dinners, which is one of the things. We had some people from the NRA were there with some discussions and stuff. We had the next governor of New York State, Mr. Astorino, spoke there, and some of the other political people. And they had guns you could shoot for a fundraiser and stuff. So I sold a few NRA memberships and renewed some memberships, and so we had a pretty good time. And the weather was gorgeous. So
what's the general feeling about the New York Safe Act? Anything that can be done about it?
Well, we're doing everything we can, but primarily it's going to be the lawsuit because for those people who don't know, New York City now controls all of New York State. Yeah. And in the past, there was an understanding that New York City got to pass whatever gun control regulation they want to as long as they left the rest of the state alone for the most part. But the first chance they got, the first bill that they passed when the Democrats took control of the New York State Senate was a gun control bill, and it didn't really have anything to do with any of the Sandy Hook shootings or anything like that, because that was already on their agenda. They just had a different excuse.
They just needed the next crisis to use to piggyback and to jump onto and write it. So I mean that's what they do. Look, George, I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys had a good meeting. Look, I got to keep running. We've got folks lined up here. We're trying to get as many in as we can, and I appreciate that. I want to get Lewis in here on line 1. He's in Kansas, driving across Kansas somewhere. Hey, Lewis.
How you doing, sir? Hello.
I'm good. Go ahead, Lewis. I got you.
Happy Father's Day, by the way.
Thank you. Same to you.
Okay, I just have a question. Recently, I just bought me a Taurus PT-145.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be a nice. I had a 9mm before, and I bought that Taurus. I just want your opinion on that for like home protection. I probably think you're coming off the air because I'm driving and I can't.
Okay, I tell you what, you hang up, turn up the radio, and I'll talk to you. How's that? We'll do it that way. Yes, the Taurus BP 145, also called the Taurus Millennium Pro. I like that pistol. We had one for quite a while. In fact, may still have it. I think Ryan ended up with it. So funny the way that happens sometimes with your kids. But it's a nice pistol. I like the grips on it because it's got kind of a squishy, rubbery grip because it's a small 45. And the grip, to me, really helps absorb some of the recoil. It also makes it easy to hold on to well. And that's one of the issues. When you have a small gun that kicks a lot, what you don't want is the gun to move in your hand. It's okay if it kicks, but if it slips in your hand, now you have to reacquire your grip after each shot, and that's absolutely no good. So you want a grip that's a little sticky. It's why some of us like stippling or checkering on a grip that almost feels like a file or a rasp, and yeah, it's rough, but it doesn't move in your hand. So I've always liked that Taurus Millennium Pro, the 145, the 45 ACP. I think it's a pretty good. You did well. Don't worry about it. The main thing is get you some ammo, go out and shoot it. If you can, get a little training with it, because just knowing how to shoot is not training for self-defense. I'd like to remind everybody of that. All right? 866-TALK-GUN.
Gun Talk stands for safety, personal responsibility, and common courtesy. To be a part of the show, call 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Gun Talk will be right back.
All right, back with the 866-TALK-GUN. That will certainly get you in here. Larry's on line 2 out of Medford, Oregon. Hello, Larry. Larry in Medford. How you doing there, man? Are you
good? Good.
Yeah. Okay, we got you now. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Larry. What I called about was an executive action bans import of popular and affordable surplus ammunition. It's on page 68 of the latest Rifleman magazine from NRA.
Yeah. Okay. What's your question?
No question. I was just reporting it.
Oh, okay.
If anybody wants to read that article, it's on page 68.
Okay, good deal. I appreciate the heads up. Yes. And thank you for the call. Bring up a good point. If you want to stay informed on this stuff, obviously I do everything I can do, but I can't do everything. I keep saying, you got to belong to the NRA. That's kind of a baseline deal. If you're a gun owner, I firmly think that every gun owner has to belong to the NRA. You will get your information there. Get the magazine, actually open it up, look at it, and they've got information on import bans, on laws, on actions that are going on, what's going on. If you want to stay informed, if you want to be sharp about this stuff, that's certainly a good way to go, okay? Let's see, line 2. Dave is in Waco, Texas. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Tom. Thanks for having me on, and thanks for your call screener wishing me Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you.
Well, thank you.
And I was just want to say that I've been around firearms for a long time. Not so much anymore, but I listen to your show, and I learn a lot and keep learning every time I listen to you. And you mentioned Hiram Maxim and the silencer. I had no idea that I didn't know about Hiram Maxim as far as the silencer goes, but I wanted to put a plug in for Hiram Maxim's son, Hiram Percy Maxim, who is the founder of amateur radio, another one of my hobbies. So
really,
yeah, and he also apparently he was a real go-getter. I was reading about him on the internet. I think he also came up with a design for internal combustion engine, but. Anyway, so I appreciate that. I listen every day. I was in the military for 20 years and in the Navy, so I know a little bit about firearms, but like I said, every time I listen, I pick up a little bit more knowledge. So hopefully one of these days
I just picked up some knowledge. I did not know about Maxim's son and amateur radio. Sounds like that was a family of inventors and tinkerers.
Yeah, he founded the American Radio Relay League, the ARRL. It's to amateur radio is similar to what the NRA is to to the American Public and Firearms. So, a national organization that lobbies for amateur radio and with the Federal Communications Commission. That sort of thing.
I've always thought I would like to get my ham license, especially in terms of when you have hurricanes, power outages, emergencies. But just as a hobby too. And now that you don't have to get, if I remember right, you do not have to know Morse code to get a license now. Is that correct?
That is correct. You do not. Yeah, the International Telecommunications Union, I guess, and the FCC finally came around. The FCC dropped the requirement, and it's easier to get in. And in time, amateur operators or ham operators that do become involved with it, they sometimes they get interested and say, hey, why not? I'll learn the code. It's not for everybody, but hey, it's a good thing. Get your license, and emergency preparedness and all that goes along with that is a big part of amateur radio. So it's pretty neat hobby.
There you go. Listen, appreciate the call, sir, and Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Love to get your story about your dad going hunting, going shooting with your dad. How'd you get started? What was the first gun? Did your dad give you your first gun? And here's a thought. Did you ever give your dad a gun? Probably a lot less frequently that it happens, but I bet you some have done exactly that. And what was your dad's favorite gun or caliber? Thinking about my dad, I'll tell you what, when we come back, we'll talk about favorite calibers and going out and shooting with your dad. 866-TALK-GUN.
No black helicopters here, just the facts about gun rights and gun ownership. This is Gun Talk.